First at 5, a Muskegon County woman convicted of torturing her 15-year-old son to death is asking for a new trial.
She, along with her attorney, claims she was incompetent during part of her trial and that she received ineffective counsel. 13
Side's Nick Nelson was in court this morning and tells us what the judge said. Nick?
Elena Lance, Judge Matthew Kasel ruled Vander Ark was competent during the trial and did not grant a new trial on that claim. However, there will still be another hearing in one of Muskegon County's most notorious homicide cases.
At this point in time, the court is making the ruling that the motion for a new trial based on incompetency is denied.
This was the moment Muskegon County Circuit Judge Matthew Kasel said no to a proposed new trial for Shonda Vander Ark on the basis that she was incompetent to stand trial. Vander Ark was convicted in 2023 of torturing her 15-year-old son, Timothy Ferguson, to death. Vander Ark's attorneys claim she was incompetent during the last day of testimony when she did not return to the courtroom due to mental health issues. The prosecution reacted to the judge's denial of the new trial on the competence issue.
It's just when things turn bad for Ms. Vander Ark that she conveniently gets these moments where she just can't focus and she's mentally not able to be there. And that is really not the same thing as what criminal competency is, and that came through in the judge's ruling. The competency is a different standard.
However, the judge did schedule a future hearing to see if she could be granted a new trial because of ineffective counsel.
There are a number of areas that we raised where we felt that trial counsel should have been taken maybe a different path, or called witnesses that should have been called.
The judge called for what's known as a Ginther hearing, where the court will hear evidence and testimony on whether the defendant received adequate counsel.
That is a pretty significant issue, which many times leads to reversal and a new trial if that actually can be proved to be true. I don't know that, but I think I think it's irresponsible of the court to simply make a decision on that based on just briefs.
Prosecutors say they plan on meeting with Vander Ark's trial attorney, Fred Johnson, and will likely call on him to testify.
Once you claim that your counsel was not effective, it opens the door for the prosecution then to be able to have those conversations and in fact present the outcome of those discussions in open court.
And a day for that hearing was not immediately scheduled. Nick Nelson, 13 on your side.